Добрий день, друзі. Вітаю вас.
Good afternoon, dear friends. Welcome to Ukraine Media Center. We are supported by the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine and Ministry of Internal Affairs of Ukraine. And right now we have online Ihor Terekhov, City Mayor of the city of Kharkiv. Mr. Terekhov, you're welcome. Please tell us what's going on in Kharkiv. We have all seen a statement this morning, a statement by the head of Kharkiv Oblast military administration, who said that Kharkiv Oblast have been shelled again. What is at the moment the operational and humanitarian situation? Actually, starting from the 24th of February, Kharkiv has been shelled. Every day it has been, there have been strikes from air, from the ground, and I can tell you that today there has been shelling from night. Saltovka district has been shelled. Sorry, interpreter can hardly hear. There is a very bad channel quality. Interpreter can hardly hear the speaker. The building has been seriously damaged and people have lost their home. We have been evacuating people. Evacuation still continues. We have to evacuate people from the quarters which are being shelled, to move them to a safer place. We cannot hear you properly. So there seems to be some small sound problem. Sorry. Probably there is bad communication channel. Let's try. So the situation is tense. I can tell you that the geographic distribution of this that shelling has changed. Previously, the enemy would shell some districts closer to the Circle Road. Now, center of the city is shelled. In all parts of the city, there has been damage. In all parts of the city, multiple-story buildings have been destroyed. People have lost their homes. We have to move them to schools, to other places where we bring hot food. Sorry, very bad sound quality. Again, interpreter cannot hear properly. We have been receiving a lot of humanitarian assistance, humanitarian aid from the Office of the President. You know, I've also applied to mayors of other cities. Practically from all cities of Ukraine, there has been aid, humanitarian aid delivered. Interpreter cannot hear properly. Sorry, there's very bad sound quality. Some shops are working. Our pharmacies are working. About our utilities, we supply hot water to 3,000 buildings, we supply electricity, we supply cold water, we remove the waste. Sorry, the sound drops again, the interpreter cannot hear. Mr. Terekhov, sorry, there was very bad sound quality initially. I heard that you said something about the shelling, including shelling of street markets. We also heard the statement by the State Emergency Service about fires in Kharkiv Oblast. If possible, could you please tell us in more detail about the situation, whether you managed to extinguish all those fires or there are some consequences of those fires? Unfortunately, I have to say sorry, the interpreter cannot hear again. Firefighters have been working, localizing those fires, containing those fires. Sorry, the interpreter cannot hear again. Could you please tell us about evacuation, whether evacuation of people still continues, how it is going at the moment, or maybe everybody who wanted to leave has already left, and those who are in Kharkiv will not leave the city? I can tell you that a lot of people have left. Recently, I have a trend that many people, they stay in Kharkiv, they don't want to leave. That's their decision. I speak with people, I ask them why they decided to stay, and practically everybody says the same. This is our city. Why should we leave it? We love it. We love our city, and we'll rebuild it after our victory. Sorry, there was a sound problem again. Those who have decided to leave the city, they can leave. There are some evacuation routes, there is a car road, so it is possible to leave. Have you heard you properly that 30 or 35% of people have left Kharkiv? Yes, about 30% of people have left Kharkiv. Mr. Terekhov, could you please tell us about the situation with damage, with destruction in Kharkiv? How would you assess the consequences of the constant bombing by Russian army? What's the situation at the moment? There are 929 buildings destroyed, 1929. On the total, we have 8,000 multiple-story buildings in Kharkiv. Out of them, 1,929 have been destroyed. And we are talking about residential buildings here. Of course, also outpatient facilities, kindergartens, schools have been destroyed too. Transformer substations, power substations, infrastructure. That said, I can tell you that we have already been repairing water supply, heating supply lines. You have been working even though there is permanent shelling by Russian aggressors. Still, all our utilities have been working, are working. Thank you, Mr. Terekhov. One more question about victims among civilians. We cannot ask you whether there is proper assistance for those provided to those people who have been wounded by shelling. Unfortunately, there have been victims among innocent civilians. There are wounded people. As soon as we get information, there are ambulance cars who go there. Our doctors are working, they are heroes, they're great, they work round the clock. They don't leave their respective hospitals. We have organized catering for them there. We receive medicines. We are together as one friendly family. We help each other. With all that cruel shelling, still there is a spirit of the city. We are focused, we are concentrated. Sorry, the interpreter cannot hear properly again. Thank you, Mr. Terekhov. I would like to let our journalists ask their questions, so you're welcome. Please introduce yourself. I'm Viktor Melnikov from CGTN. You mentioned the humanitarian situation and evacuation. Could you please repeat again, because we could not hear you well? And are there long waiting lines to board evacuation trains? Because there has been some information that people wait in long lines. Yes, there has been information, but sorry, the interpreter cannot hear properly. Now everybody who wants can leave. I visited the train station. I spoke with people. I asked people who are leaving, and they said that there is no panic. The only thing is, since there is always a possibility of shelling, people are waiting in a tunnel at the railway station to avoid a big crowd on the street. Of course, it's not very convenient for people, but they are waiting for train there. But all those who want to leave can safely leave. Any more questions? We don't have questions anymore. Mr. Terekhov, dear Igor, thank you very much for finding time to join us. Thank you and your team for what you're doing. Thank you for being with us, dear friends. I'd like to remind you that at 3 p.m. we'll have the head of the city of Mariupol.